So, the hip drop tackle is banned. Uh, Here's my opinion on it. I wanted to first off say that I know this hasn't happened too recently, but it happened recently enough for me to state my opinion about it now, since I didn't do it when it happened. But I wanted to start off by saying the NFL. Uh, it's starting to seem very, very offensive protective in terms of taking away advantages from the defense. We've seen in the past like 2 3 years lots and lots of constant rules that seem to support the offense more than the defense. And now the hip drop tackle has made it clear what the NFL is trying to do. And what they're trying to do, in my opinion, is protect the offense. They want to protect the offense because there's no way that you expect, like, what do you expect a defensive player to do? You can't hit them from the top, can't hit them from the bottom. Like, what are you supposed to do if you have a guy like Derrick Henry running straight at you? What do you do? Where do you tackle him? Because you're not going to take that guy down with manpower if you're say a 5'10", 190 defensive back. Like, it's just not fair to these defensive players. And Josh Metellus is one of those players. By the way, shout out Josh Metellus. We call him Mr. Everything, Mr. No Excuses, Mr. Do It All. And he's lived up to those expectations and has played so well for this Vikings team. But he was not very happy about this hip drop tackle being banned. It's kind of like a tackle, by the way, where you kind of grab them by the hip and you spin them to the ground or something like that, which should be legal. That's the point of football. But Josh Metellus was not happy about this because, he's a safety, right? And safeties, they're one of the main tacklers on defense in football. One of the main guys that you'll see making tackles. And if you keep on removing these ways of tackling, how do you expect guys like Cam Bynum to lead the league and not lead the league, lead his team in tackles again? How do you expect a guy like Josh Metellus to play as well as he did the previous year with these rules being enforced? Because obviously, yes, you want to emphasize a player's safety, but there's a difference between emphasizing an NFL player's safety and trying to bend the rules a little bit and make it seem less like football. Because football is football. And guys like Ray Lewis, all these great defensive players from the 90s and before, they would not be able to play in this current NFL, in this current league. They get fined every single game. Because I know many of the older fans, they miss football back when you were scared to run over the middle. Back when running a slant route was a death wish because of these defensive backs that were there and were ready to hit you as soon as you got the ball. And it's just so unfortunate what the league seems to be doing, because football is football. These players say it themselves, and they need to be heard. They signed up to play contact football. Hitting is hitting. You're going to break a leg. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. You're going to injure yourself from time to time. That's part of the game. That's what they signed up for, and it's not like they weren't told that. So you can't just bend the rules and take football away from football without really, can't even find the words, but it's really showing, these constant fines. It's also like Josh Allen. Remember when he ran for a touchdown against the Bengals and pointed to the Bengals defender? He was pointing. It's called having fun. You're supposed to have fun in a game like this as well. Celebrations are supposed to be a thing. And these constant fines, these constant rules, it's just not making the league look good, and that's why they're losing fans. You can tell the NFL is losing fans because of the fact that they're making football less like football. And that is just something that, really just upsets me a little bit too, because I started watching the NFL in 2016, 2015, and the league was definitely a lot different. It wasn't perfect, but it was definitely a lot different. And I'd safely say better than it is now, because when you ban a tackle like the hip drop tackle, that makes you think, okay, why not just go ahead and ban tackling altogether while you're at it? Because it's just, you're giving these players, these NFL defensive players, no advantage. How do you expect a guy like Josh Metellus, a guy like, let's say, a safety like, let's say Javon Holland of the Dolphins, or let's say any kind of safety, Josh Metellus, Cameron Bynum, all those star safeties, Jamal Adams, even linebackers like Bobby Wagner. Those guys are hard hitters, and you can't just take away from what they're good at. And the more you take away this tackling, you're technically taking jobs away. Because what are these defensive players going to do if they can't tackle? You know, in like 5-10 years, what kind of NFL, what kind of football are we going to see? What kind of football are we going to see? Are we going to see the National Flag Football League, or is this going to be football? And what I want, and what I'm pretty sure all of America, what all of America wants in terms of football, they want actual football. They really do. And these players have every right to be angry, have every right to be livid about it, because it kind of rubs me the wrong way too, because you're kind of you are taking away the advantages that defensive players used to have, and it's just not right. Let football be football, and it's just it's kind of upsetting, kind of just not really upsetting as it is disappointing for me. I'm disappointed in what the NFL is doing in terms of these rules and changing what used to be football, and it's just it's unfortunate what these players have to go through. They risk their bodies. Some could say they risk their lives, because you can definitely, like we saw what happened with Damar Hamlin, like he almost died on that field. That's what players risk to entertain us. And for that, I have to give a huge thank you to the players. In the NFL, all I want, I appreciate you guys. You guys do great work to try and keep the game fun, but all I'm asking is help the game, let the game be fun, and let football be football. That's all I want. Let football be football.